What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little gadget in the mid lane. As always, let's start out with the deck. Now, this deck is very close to pretty much all my Burst Caster decks, but I have Auto Health Potion, Quick Exit, Auto Mana Potion, followed by Experienced, Spellburn, and lastly, Overpowered Spells. For the cards, I have Rejuvenation, Advanced Evolution, Cool the Weak, Font of Experience. Now, that's followed by my power cards, Mana Flow Acolyte, Invader Mage, Thaumaturgy, Atomic Soldier, Shadow Dancer, which is amazing, Black Ice Routine, and Corrosive Walker. Now, this deck is almost identical to my other Burst Caster decks. I really like the Intellect and Death affinities for Burst Casters. Having that Shadow Dancer or, just Invader Mage is such a strong card for that very early, starting mid-game. And that paired with that Mana Flow Acolyte is just a ton of damage. And you're getting that pin so you can actually hurt some heroes with your abilities. So I really like having that. I also still really enjoy having that experienced gem so I can get a level advantage. I feel that, that level advantage is huge. Whenever I can get 2-3 levels above the other mid laner, I'm absolutely able to just dominate and bully them out of lane. And at that point, sure, there are some other gems out there, or like a card like Font of the Experience. You would have better sustain and things like that if you started out with these different cards and gems. But I just really feel that getting that experience boost, getting those levels on, your Sticky Mine or your damage dealing abilities is just so key, because that's how you're able to bully. Now, of course, there are a couple of downsides to this, and there are some better gems out there. Since I don't have all the gems on this account, I am still missing my Living Towers, which is probably one of the best starter gems in the game. One of these days, I'll hopefully get that, and I would strongly suggest using that if you have that actual gem. For a mid laner, it would be nice to be able to just stick in the tower and regen, things like that. Now, we are going up against a Morgesh, and one thing is she's playing very timid, which is great. Although, I think the only way you're successful with heroes like Morgesh and Countess is to play very aggressive in the beginning, force that other hero out of lane. That's really the only way that you're going to be able to get that sustaining farm. If you let me get leveled up and I can stick you with that Sticky Mine, it's going to be very tough for you to start bullying me once I come online. And that is just another reason why I really enjoy having these experienced and Font of Experience cards. So, I'm able to actually bully this Morgesh, which typically, I would say she's able to bully me a lot more. But, great. I'm getting her out of lane. We're doing tons and tons of damage. Now I do have enough gold to get my starter 2 cards, and I typically like to back whenever I get those. Sure, I could stay in lane, get some more gold, get some more farm, but the way I see it is, as soon as I get those cards, if I'm able to back, there's my sustain with that Advanced Evolution, and there's my farming card with that Cool the Weak. So, if I can back, get those cards online right away, I'm just going to be a lot more successful. And if you see here, I'm able to back before my lane even resets, so I don't really miss out on any kind of farm, because I probably wouldn't want to push up that far, especially this early in the match. I'm still kind of worried about ganks. Now, this was my first match of the day, and I haven't played Gadget in a while, so I keep missing a lot of things, which, that's really unfortunate. But a little later in the match, I get on the ball and I'm able to really actually hit these skill shots with, Gadget doesn't really have skill shots, but I'm able to actually hit the heroes that I want to hit, and we, get to come online. I'm able to rotate just an entire lot later in this match. I do like staying mid lane for a little bit longer, and if you see right here, I don't really have anywhere to rotate, but I can force that Morgesh out of lane. Now, currently, version 42 is just so aggressive. Everything is moving so much faster. Lanes are being pushed more. The off lane, if you see right now, the off lane's actually hitting their tower. We're 5.5 minutes into the match, and our off lane is doing damage to the tower. Our safe lane is doing damage to the tower. I've almost got the mid lane pushed into the tower. Everything's just so much faster, and it really kind of limits my ability to rotate early on in the match, which as a mid laner, as a burst caster, I would like to rotate, help out some lanes, but there's really not a whole lot of point in rotating when a lane's pushed up that far, because typically you're just setting yourself up for a gank, and by running through the enemy jungle or through the river, you're kind of letting yourself be noticed if they're rotating for that gank. And I don't know, it really limits the ability to have a solid jungler or have a solid rotation from the mid lane if you're constantly pushed. Now, we do have a support Iggy in this match, and if you see, he heads to mid lane. They've already downed their tower, which that's, a 6 minute tower. That's a pretty quick tower. So he heads to mid, he's able to do a little bit. Now I'm just keeping pressure on that mid lane. I'm throwing those bombs way back there just to kind of zone those heroes out, keep some pressure on this tower, and maybe we can get a little bit of damage on it. I still want to get my farm, and as you saw in that video that I posted about improving your mid lane, there's really no point in hitting the tower because you do such little damage. Now, our Aurora did get caught out a little bit. I'm able to rotate over here. We end up securing both these kills. It did take both of our ults, but, that's not a big deal. We were able to take out an ADC and a jungler, and that also frees me up to head back to mid lane. Me and Iggy keep this pressure up, and we're actually able to down this tier 1 tower. So, 7 minutes into the game, we've already got a handful of kills. We've taken out 2 of their tier 1s, and we've got a substantial amount of damage on their off-lane tier 1. We're just really bullying this team. And, I'm not saying that's me. I'm not saying that bad about anything. It's just, this is fast-paced. You never saw matches before at 7 minutes where you would have all 3 of the tier 1s down. And we're currently seeing it. And, again, at 7 minutes, I'm already level 7, which is also very, very fast. Now, after I get back from the tower, I am able to put that Invader Mage on. I'm going to just clean up my lane, but I do see our off lane is kind of getting manhandled right now. Quang is still a very tough hero. He's able to do a lot of damage. He's able to withstand a lot of damage. And how you deal with him is you have to shut him down. If you allow him to get farm, he's going to absolutely dominate the match. And if you see there, he was able to take out a support and an ADC. Luckily, I do get my bomb on him. I follow him just to make sure I get the kill. And sure enough, we get that kill. I'm going to head back to mid lane, secure my lane, get it pushing. I don't want to steal farm from that safe lane. Twin Blast, even though this is a very fast-paced match, Twin Blast is not going to come online until he gets farm. So I definitely don't want to steal anything from him. Now I do head over and secure this purple buff, and I'm just going to kind of use this to scout out. I can't rotate anywhere. I can't really secure any objectives. I can't push towers because it's just really unsafe at this point. Now, I'm not sure what's going on. Their Narbash and their Grux are taking out this 5-stack. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but they're about to have to go to mid lane, and I know that. And I see this Grux is out of mana, so I'm going to go ahead and ult him. I throw my Seek and Destroy, I throw my Sticky Bomb, just one-shot him. That's a crazy amount of damage. And I'm able to take him out. I should not really be in mid lane. It's pushed up a little bit too far. I go ahead and throw a Seek and Destroy out just to kind of maybe get a hit, maybe get a last hit on something and get a pick. Now their Durango does head over and he runs towards me. So I'm going, hey, I'm going to take him out. And then, of course, Morghast shows up. Now I do walk right into a wall. I am, for the first time, playing with a mouse, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. I don't know if I'm going to continue playing with the mouse. I'm not. It's just such a big, shock, and getting used to the keyboard mouse playing on the PlayStation is absolutely tough. I don't like the new scheme for the controller either, so I'm kind of set in my ways, I guess. But I do end up getting stuck on that wall right there, and hey, no big deal. I was still able to get out. I head back to base, top off with mana, and head back out. I'm able to put on my Invader Mage and my Mana Flow Acolyte, which, if you didn't know, for 7 points, this is the most damage you can get out of cards. I did a video where I tested out 7-point cards a while back in all the various combinations with, different affinities and everything. And this is the hardest hitting one you can actually do. I haven't done it since Invader Mage lost the pin that it had, but I would still assume that it's going to be the top because it was very high. Now, Quang was going in on our Twin Blast. I was able to zone him out. I'm going to help secure this lane. I kind of made a little bit of a mistake here. I should not have pushed up this far. I want to just really get this Quang out of here. He needs to be shut down. He's getting to the point where he's going to be fed and hard to deal with. And if you see here, my Sticky Mines aren't doing just an entire ton of damage to him. Now he does ult us, and I'm able to put my Seek and Destroy down to slow him down, hoping that will allow our Twin Blast to get out. And fortunately, he is able to kite him around enough this tower to actually get that kill. So, a mid laner for an off laner, it's not the best, but at least our ADC didn't go down. After I spawn back in, we're all kind of grouped up in this off lane, and or in this safe lane, and we have a very aggressive push. Now, their Quang, he's still got a lot of presence here. We need to try to make some progress, try to get him down. I don't really know if this was the best option, but I am full of mana. We've got substantial damage on a couple of heroes. Their Narbash does end up heading over here, and I try to zone out. That was not the best placement of that zone. Unfortunately, Narbash is able to ult and take me out, but we do end up taking down that Quang, which is great. So we take down, it's another trade for an offlaner for that mid laner, but we did get substantial damage on that on that safe lane tower. So we're still sitting pretty good. Now, one reason I went straight into that safe lane is they have not pushed our mid lane back at all. Our minion wave has been under their tower for a good 4 or 5 minutes now, and I'm just really not able to do a whole lot. Now, I go chase this Grux a little bit. He's able to dash out, so I'm just going to leave that, but I'm going to go ahead and secure their green buff. Just take that away from him. I think he's more or less using this as a farming tool, not so much a, actual ganking tool, but stealing farm away from him is just as good. Now I'm going to head over to our safe lane. Our twin and support are over there. Durango and their Quang are over there as well. But, I was going to head over there and try to help that out, but they're chasing so far. I'm going to try to push this into the tower. That way we can have less of a rotation from the enemy team, and maybe that will convince him to back off. I don't really think just chasing a kill was really worth it. But now that is pushed, I'm going to head back to that lane and hopefully get some kills here. We do end up taking down this Quang. You know, he really shouldn't have been there. That was kind of silly for them to chase that kill so far. And that just really goes to show you that chasing kills is not always good. Both Durango and Quang ended up both going down for almost no reason. And since I was able to push that lane into that inhib, they actually lost an inhib as well. So 2 deaths and an inhib for chasing a kill which they didn't secure. It's just really not worth it. Now I head back to base. Our off lane is currently being hit pretty hard by a pretty substantial wave. Aurora is heading over there, but I wanted to make sure that we were able to at least stop this wave. We did end up losing that tower, but you know, we've got we've got an inhib down and all their tier 2s and 1s down. So it's just 2 inhibs left for them. Our Twin was able, or Twin and Seraph were able to secure Prime, and this is really kind of a push to the end. We just had a phenomenal match, and we were able to just keep up so much pressure in that early game that it really kept their ADC and their support from getting fed. Their jungler was really not ganking. Their Morgesh, you know, other than the first 5-10 minutes, I never saw her again until the very end. I would say probably about that 6-7 minute mark, I have not seen Morgesh at all. She is still playing, just has not been in mid lane. And then, you know, Quang did a great job. He's pretty fed at this point, but, you know, one person cannot really carry teams. Now, I do end up zoning over that inhib. I want to make sure that we get that kill. We ended up taking out both Narbash and Morgesh. All we have left is that mid inhib. Now, I go ahead and throw a sticky bomb onto that Quang, get a little bit of damage on him. You know, I'm not too worried about being in a bad situation at this point. We have Prime, we've got both inhibs down, or 2 inhibs down, and we're about to make a play on the 3rd. So I'm really not too concerned. This is, you know, this is the end of the match. It might take a little bit longer to get the win with teammate or their team about to spawn back in, but that's completely okay. Now we do end up managing to secure that Grux, and you can see we've still got a fight going on here in mid. I'm able to get Quang out. You know, I stuck him with a couple of bombs, and at that point, he just cannot really contest anything. You know, he's pretty underfed. Now, if you see here, I put that Seek and Destroy over his sword. I was just saying, hey, if he does end up ulting, maybe this will hit him, but he actually waited till that Seek and Destroy was gone. Now, I am very low, but I want to go ahead and try to make a final push here. We do have Prime, so I'm getting my health back, and since Gadget does have such long range, I am going to be able to still help the team at, you know, a distance. Well, that's going to kind of wrap this matchup. I really enjoy playing Gadget. I think she's one of the stronger burst casters and definitely the strongest zoner right now. I really feel Howie's just kind of completely fallen off. I think he needs some tuning. And as you saw from that Gideon video, I'm just not into the sacrificial ultimate that he has. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, definitely show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, let me know if there's any other kind of heroes you'd like me to do some deck builds, or if you'd like me to just try out some cards that you were interested in, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.